Guys, we are live. Welcome to my review for last night's edition of Monday Night Raw. We're going to take a look and break down everything that took place on the April 17th, 2017 edition of Monday Night Raw. Before I get to that, bit of sad news today. Earlier today, it was reported that Roman Reigns' brother, Matt Rosie Inoue, he sadly passed away at the age of 47. It's just terrible news to hear. It's always tough going through an emotional loss like that in anyone's family. I've recently gone through it, so it's never easy. It's rough. So I wanted to send my love, my prayers, and my condolences to Roman Reigns and his entire family during this difficult time in his life. It's never easy to lose somebody, especially a brother. Somebody that's really close to you. So just want to send my prayers Roman Reigns' way. Rest in peace, Matt Inoue. Just sad news. So with that said, let's take a look at Monday Night Raw, guys. And if you are watching live, remember to leave your comments in the live chat. Live chat will be open throughout the entire review. So let me know what you thought of Raw last night. Because I, for one, while it had its ups and downs, I still enjoyed Raw. Because Raw was, here comes, Braun Strowman. Raw was Braun. From start, literally, just from start to finish, Strowman dominated this night. And I continue to love how they're building up Braun Strowman as a no-nonsense, dominating, unstoppable force to be reckoned with. And this show was a perfect example of that. Right off the bat, we kicked off with Braun Strowman and his just pretty much talking about what he did to Roman Reigns last week, how he completely annihilated him, destroyed him, left him laying in a heap. And I don't know if this had to do with the condition of Roman's late brother. Maybe that was the fact that they did this injury angle. I mean, looking back on it, maybe they kind of knew his brother wasn't doing well. It's all speculation at this point, but Roman was not on the show tonight, and I don't think we'll see him till Payback, but he might pop up on Raw next week. I would hold him off till Payback, and I think due to the passing of his brother, we might not see him till Payback. So, but Strowman versus Reigns, the match was made official tonight on, or should I say last night on Raw. General Manager Kurt Angle came out, and Strowman was pretty much livid when, Kurt was doing. He pretty much said, "Kurt, you're doing the same thing that Mick Foley did to me. You're not really giving me any real competition, and if you don't give me any real competition, you're going to find out what happens." And Strowman ended the segment by saying, "I want more competition, or else." And Strowman stormed off, and that was not the last that we would see of Braun Strowman. No, because remember, Raw is Braun. So I thought I liked the way that they set the tease for pretty much Strowman going after the entire Raw roster, because seeing Braun Strowman go on a destructive rampage, I think makes for pretty good television. So I like the way that this segment's set up, and I like what came after it next. Really good match, made up for the match that Chris Jericho and Samoa Joe. I thought they went out there and they had a really good match. They had these two face up the first week of March, but the problem with that match was they were clearly short on time, so they cut time in their match. And I was disappointed in that because I wanted to see what Samoa Joe and Chris Jericho could do given enough time. And this time around, no pun intended, they went out there and they had a pretty damn good competitive match. Joe looked great in there going up against a veteran. I mean, they're both veterans, really. But the only second time we've seen Samoa Joe, Chris Jericho, and they had a really good opening match on Raw here. Samoa Joe got the win. No real surprise here, seeing as how Jericho will be leaving soon, going on tour with Fozzy, which I will be seeing, by the way, when they come to Pittsburgh. So stay tuned for a video on that later on down the line. But when Joe locked in that coquina clutch, Jericho tried to fight it. He tried to get to the ropes, but to no avail. Joe remains and looks dominant here. I love what they're doing with Samoa Joe, kind of getting him back on track after being left off the WrestleMania card. And now he's going to be going one-on-one with Seth Rollins. Really look forward to seeing how that feud ramps up. Finally, Joe has direction, and I like the little verbal back-and-forth confrontation that Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins had here. Joe told Rollins, you remember the sound of your leg pop, your knee popping and your ligaments and joints being all torn and messed up, and the sounds of Rollins screaming in agony. Joe said that was just business because that was a result of his benefactor, Triple H. And as a result of what Seth Rollins did to Triple H and Stephanie at WrestleMania, when they step into the ring, Joe said it won't be business. It's going to be personal. And Rollins got up on the announcer's table, and you knew it was coming because every year that they have Payback, they always have to get this line in. Rollins says, Payback is going to be a bitch. So, wasn't PG, but and I saw back and forth exchange of dialogue here. Cannot wait to see, I believe, the first ever matchup. I could be wrong. Maybe they fought in the Independents. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments section. But for the first time that I've ever seen, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins should be a damn good match on the Payback card, which is shaping up very nicely. The next match was supposed to be Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Goldust and R-Truth. But thank God for Braun Strowman, because nobody wanted to see that match. And if that match happened, you know what would have happened. That match would have went on the list of Jericho, which is sitting on my desk over there, on the desk of Jericho. So Strowman beat the holy piss out of Goldust and R-Truth and left them laying. And then after that, we had Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. They called out any tag team in the back. I don't know if you guys heard unfortunate news. Dash Wilder broke his jaw. He had to have it wired shut. So the Revival will be on the shelf for 8 weeks. That sucks. They just got called up, look really strong and dominant in their first 2 weeks on Monday Night Raw. At least it's only 8 weeks. Could be worse, could have been longer. So that'll put them towards the end of May. So a little while longer till we see the Revival. It's just a shame. It's like can't catch a break. But it is what it is. So Enzo and Cass accepted the challenge for Anderson and Gallows. Two had a match. Standard tag team match. Nothing really more to say here. I like the part where Big Cass picked up Enzo and threw them into Anderson and Gallows. But Anderson was able to throw Enzo's sternum first into the turnbuckle, and that led to Anderson being able to pin Enzo after Cass hit the big boot on Gallows, and that cleared out both Gallows and Big Cass. So your winners are Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Not really sure where you go with these guys. They kind of have just been inconsistently booked. That's been one of my big negatives with the way that the Anderson and Gallows have been used. I mean, their tag title reign was a joke. Really nothing too much to write home about there. And Enzo and Cass, they kind of just feel like in a holding pattern. I mean, I felt if the Hardys didn't come back, it would have been their moment, their opportunity to win at WrestleMania. But, things happen, and Hardys are your champions. So I still like the Raw Tag Team division, especially with the additions of the Hardys and the Revivals. I think I was looking forward to possibly a Revival Enzo and Cass feud. I think that would be a great second-tier feud in the Raw Tag Team division. So we'll see what direction they go with here. But just a standard tag team action match between Enzo and Cass and Anderson and Gallows. Now, I did like Miz TV with Dean Ambrose and The Miz. I thought this was some of Ambrose's best stuff in months. And what Miz was saying here, he was once again on point and on fire in this segment. Ambrose was kind of just joking around with him, and Miz said, "This ain't a joke." And you're making fun of the way that the Miz dresses, and the Miz says he dresses like the way he does because he looks like a WWE superstar. And he called Dean Ambrose a joke, and he says you make superstars look like wrestlers. And Miz says that Ambrose, you got opportunities that the Miz felt that he should have gotten. And he calls Ambrose lazy and complacent. And I'm usually the one to hate on The Miz here because he does such a great job at being a heel. But I kind of feel that he's right here with Ambrose kind of, ever since that Austin podcast. I don't know. Just something with Dean. It's just changed. I don't know if it was because of that. Way he kind of got called out, and funny, we haven't seen any Stone Cold podcasts since that Ambrose-Austin debacle. But I don't know. It's just something with Ambrose. His WWE title run, kind of uneventful. I mean, it was nice when he won. To me, I think Ambrose is better chasing for the championship because when he finally wins it and he has a title reign, same thing with the IC championship. It really hasn't done anything for the title. If anything, it's just kind of made me want to see The Miz regain that IC championship. And what I think would help Dean Ambrose, and it's something I've been saying for a while now I feel like the time coming up, would be for a heel turn. Heel Dean Ambrose, you just turn this guy unleash him, turn him loose, just a crazy, psychotic heel. That would be exactly what Dean Ambrose needs right now. Although Ambrose did get pretty motivated here, and he cut a pretty good promo talking about how, he doesn't care about branding. He just cares about being Dean Ambrose. And The Miz ought to know that, well, Miz, I beat you for the Intercontinental Championship, so you really shouldn't have anything to say about that. Eventually, Maurice got in front of Ambrose, and Ambrose took his jacket off, and he told Maurice, here, hold this, and he threw the jacket at Maurice, and he started beating the shit out of The Miz. Miz tried to go for the skull-crushing finale. Ambrose attempted to hit the dirty deeds, but Miz ran away. So what's going on, Ultra? Like I said, we are live Raw review. Leave your comments in the live chat. Thank you for watching. And we are talking about Miz TV with Dean Ambrose and The Miz. Looks like we will be rekindling this feud. And I like the way that this feud started up here on Raw. I thought this was a really good segment between Dean Ambrose and The Miz. Got me invested in seeing The Miz going after that Intercontinental Championship. And I think we will see Dean Ambrose versus The Miz at Payback. So after tonight, that is a match I look forward to. We had Braun Strowman literally dragging the limp body of Kalisto, and he threw him into the garbage. So welcome back, Kalisto. I'm sure he's going to do some wonderful lucha things. Poor Kalisto. I actually do like the fact that Kalisto's on Raw. I think putting him in the Cruiserweight division where he should have been the entire time will be the best thing for him and will give him the opportunities and the time to shine. Eventually, Big Show comes out of nowhere, pushes Strowman back up against the garage door, and he says, well, why don't you pick on somebody your own size? And Strowman got the message, because we'll talk about what happened in our main event later on, but we had Big Show versus Braun Strowman, and I know some people weren't excited when that was announced, but I knew that these two were going to go out there and have another really good match. I didn't know if it could match in terms of competitiveness and just sheer athletic ability for the previous match, but boy, oh boy, did they certainly pull out all the stops in their main event match. That was a really, really good main event match. But Ultra, I agree with you. It is time for Dean to turn heel because he's kind of gotten to that point with WWE baby faces where you kind of just get stale, boring, kind of just going through the motions. It's just, where's that fire? Where's that passion? Where's that intensity? Everything that The Miz said was right about Dean Ambrose. So we'll see where they go with Ambrose in the months to come. TJ Perkins versus Jack Gallagher. Average match. Was disappointed because I heard these two had a really good match on 205 Live. I don't watch 205, just don't have the time. But I don't know. I was expecting more from this. It's kind of left underwhelmed. Everything here just kind of felt average. You had Neville, Austin Aries at ringside. To me, that was the best part of this, seeing them interacting amongst each other and Neville just getting pissed off that Austin Aries was at ringside. But TJ Perkins threw Jack Gallagher into Aries, and Aries attempted to get up to the top rope, but Neville knocked him off. Aries hit the back of his head on the ring apron. Perkins hit the detonation kick on Gallagher for the win. So I like the fact that TJ Perkins has turned heel. Just didn't really do it for me this week. I liked the turn last week, but this week just kind of felt middle of the road here, nothing too special. So let's see where they go in the weeks to come. And for those of you that watch 205 Live, how's it been? Because I heard that the numbers really aren't that well. The attendance is what it is. I feel that in order for 205 Live to succeed, you either need to move it and tape it before SmackDown from 7 to 8 and just air it afterwards, or tape it at Full Sail because you get a much better energetic crowd. And I don't know. I would prefer them to see it air at Wednesdays anyway. You have a 205 Live and NXT block. That's a 2-hour block right there instead of a 3-hour block with SmackDown. To me, that kind of hinders me from watching it. And then you can move Talking Smack back to its original time from 10 to 10:30. I feel that would just benefit all parties involved, but that's just me. So, we're not going to talk about Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil. That made the list. That certainly made the list. We had a fatal four-way number one contenders match. This was good stuff to determine who will challenge Bayley at Payback for the Raw Women's Championship. Solid work here from Sasha Banks, Mickie James, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax. I thought the way that this match was laid out, it benefited all women involved. It made Nia Jax look dominant and unstoppable. She didn't really have as many sloppy or botchy spots as she did in her match against Charlotte. But she still came out of this looking like she could have attained victory, and she almost did. Alexa Bliss looked cunning and calculating. Mickie James, Sasha Banks had a nice series of back-and-forth exchanges in this match, which made me want to see potentially Mickie James, Sasha Banks feud. I think with maybe Mickie as the heel, because you saved the Sasha heel turn for down the line, and Sasha as face. I think that could be really good stuff. But my pick to win this match, as I correctly got right, was Alexa Bliss, who was from Columbus, Ohio. And Raw was from Columbus, Ohio, so she got the nice hometown win here. So I like the way that the match ended. Jax picked up Sasha Banks, hit her with the Samoan drop, but Bliss drop kicked Jax from behind. That got her out of the ring, and Alexa Bliss stole one here. So we're going to get Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. Really fresh matchup here. Cannot wait to see that match go down at Payback as Bayley defends her Raw Women's Championship. So, yeah, right move here. I'm happy that Alexa Bliss won, and I thought the Fatal 4-Way match, I was hoping they'd do something like this, and I thought all women involved stepped up to the plate. And it finally, after months and months and months, the Raw Women's division finally feels like it has a breath of fresh air. So good stuff right here. I enjoyed. We had Kurt Hawkins face the facts. He called out anyone in the back to challenge him, and who would accept the challenge but Finn Balor. So thank the Lord that Finn Balor did not suffer a serious concussion. If he suffered one, it was, a slight one at best. So Finn will not be taking any time off. So yeah, Balor beat Hawkins in relatively quick fashion, hit the coup de grace for the win. I know some people are upset that, Finn's kind of, not really going anywhere, but they are going to be doing a Finn Balor Bray Wyatt program, which I cannot wait to see happen. Unfortunately, the problem with that is due to Bray and Randy having their House of Horrors match, they have to finish that feud up before you move into that. But how awesome would it be if Bray Wyatt beat Randy Orton in the House of Horrors match, and then we got, what do you think about this, guys? Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor for the WWE Championship. And then you move Lesnar over to SmackDown. That's what I do. I mean, it's kind of, that Randy Orton's going to win, and it's just like Bray Wyatt, guy can't catch a break. He's going to lose another feud. But Wyatt versus Balor should be great stuff. But that would be so awesome if it was for the championship. Because there's a rumor tonight that it might be Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal for the WWE title. But we'll see what goes down on SmackDown tonight. And you guys know, if Jinder Mahal becomes the number one contender for the WWE Championship, you know what happens if Jinder Mahal becomes number one contender? You know what happens? He just made the list. So we'll find out. We'll save that for my SmackDown review. After this, we had, I love this promo, Chris Jericho making fun of Mike Rome. He's like, "You're Tom Phillips." "No, I'm not. My name's Mike." And he's like, "No, you're Tom Phillips." And he says, "You know what happens when you're not Tom Phillips? You know what happens?" And he was about to put Mike Rome on the list. And I love the way that the Drifter, I actually like what they've been doing with him. He's been drifting in and out of Monday Night Raw all throughout 3 hours. And he drifted right through the Jericho segment. And Jericho put Elias Sampson on the list. That's right. Chris Jericho put Elias Sampson on the list. I never thought I'd see the day. To me, this really I don't know. I'm actually interested to see what they do with Elias Sampson. I mean, when I heard he was coming up, I was like, oh, boy, I just don't think he's going to go nowhere. But I like the fact that he's just kind of showing up whenever the hell he wants to. So great stuff from Jericho. I'm going to miss him when he leaves, unfortunately, which is going to be after Payback. So enjoy Jericho while you can. Because he won't be around much longer. So, but a good segment. Good segment indeed. So, sorry about that. I had to send a message. So after this, we move on to our next segment in the show, which was a really strong promo, spooky, weird, trippy promo from Bray Wyatt going into the mind of Bray and talking about fear. The theme of this promo was fear, and it was a really good promo from Bray. The unfortunate thing is, it's just like, deep down that Bray Wyatt is going to lose this House of Horrors match. And that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate because I felt the whole thing was backwards with Bray Wyatt, really. He should have won the Royal Rumble, and then he should have won the title at WrestleMania for the first. I mean, that would have been a huge, huge moment. To me, they did everything in reverse. And I'd like for them to prove me wrong, but yeah, I just don't see Bray winning the title. So, but there is the hope of a Finn Balor Bray Wyatt feud, so I think that could be a really, really good way for Bray to make an impact on Raw and for Finn Balor's first feud on Raw. So I look forward to that starting up. So yeah, good stuff right there. We had a shitty backstage segment. This was awfully scripted dialogue at its finest. Whoever scripted this Alicia Fox, Dana Brooke, and Emma segment should be fired. And don't worry, this segment did make the list. So if it made the list, I'm not going to talk about it. We had Jeff Hardy versus Cesaro. Really good match right here. The only thing that hurt this match was the fact that the crowd wasn't as into it as I thought they should be. Columbus, last night. I don't know if you're saving it for Game 4 tonight for the Pens and the Blue Jackets, which goes down in half an hour, and I'm really excited for that. And who will go on the list if they lose tonight, but I'll leave it at that. But, yeah, really good match. First time ever match between Jeff Hardy and Cesaro. If they ever split the Hardy Boys up, I'd love to see a Jeff Hardy-Cesaro program. I know these two have even better than what they had here, but what they had to bring to the table was really good. Really nice springboard corkscrew uppercut attempts by Cesaro. Jeff Hardy just going balls to the walls, diving, jumping all throughout the ring area. It was just great stuff. Cesaro, towards the end, attempted to go for the neutralizer, but Jeff reversed it into the twist of fate, went up to the top of the Swanton Bomb for the win. And I believe this was Jeff Hardy's first singles match on Raw in 8 years. Somebody correct me. I could be wrong. But it's been 8 years. Wow. 2008. Yeah. Maybe even 9. Maybe he was on Raw. He got drafted to Smack. I can't remember. It's been so long. Yeah. So I could be wrong about that. But it's been a long, long time since we've seen Jeff Hardy compete in singles action on Raw, so that was nice to see. And also, heard rumors that Matt Hardy might be going broken, which would be delightful, wonderful, because we need to delete. So we'll see what happens. But I saw essence of broken brilliance. And by the way, fuck that owl. If you saw what sponsored the match, that damn owl, that has to be. It has to be a rib. I loved every second of that. To me, that made the match even 10 times better. The fact that the owl sponsored the match. So the owl continues to haunt the Hardy Boys. Oh, man, they just can't catch a break. It's a good stuff right here. And then our main event. Outstanding main event. Tremendous stuff. Even better, if not on the same level as their last match. Braun Strowman versus Big Show. These two just have some type of chemistry with one another. Two big guys. They're able to go in there and have a damn good athletic match with kip-ups, and they're flying. They're going up to the top rope. I mean, kind of felt almost like a cruiserweight match with two 400-pound guys. Strowman and Big Show, they just know how to work well with one another. They truly bring out the best in each other. This was another great showing by Strowman. Just so much good stuff here. And, of course, the spot of the match was when Strowman superplexed the Big Show off the top rope, and it still gets me. This is only the third time they've done this, I believe. The entire ring imploded. Crowd finally awoken. They went nuts. I went nuts. I'm like, the referee, I hope he's all right. Looks like he got hurt. It was just pure pandemonium and chaos. And Strowman is the one standing tall. And that was the right move to make here. So the match ended in no contest. And it says winner here. I think Gravity won that match. So Strowman is left standing tall. He started the show and he ended the show. You really got something special here in Braun Strowman. I think you go all the way with Braun Strowman. He could be, if you keep building him up this way, he could be a huge star for this company down the line. And I feel like he's actually getting over with the crowd, something that this company is looking for, that next big star. Is it in Braun Strowman? Keep booking him this way. Keep booking him strong. Protect him, And whether he goes over clean or with BS, he needs to win that match against Roman Reigns. I thought an excellent way to close out what I thought for the third straight week. I enjoyed Raw. And if I had to give a grade for Raw tonight, last night, I would give it a B-. That is my grade for Monday Night Raw from Columbus, Ohio. So, guys, let me know in the live chat and in the comments section once this video is uploaded, your grades for Monday Night Raw. And be sure to click that like and subscribe button for more video content coming soon to this channel. So that is it for my live Monday Night Raw review. There will be no live SmackDown review, and thanks, Anthony, for watching. Hashtag Gravity always wins. Got to get that trending next Monday night on Raw, during Raw. So, yeah, that is it for this live Raw review. Raw was good, and hopefully SmackDown is good tonight, but there will be no live SmackDown review because tonight is Game 4. The Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. And immediately following this live Raw review on my friend Anthony DeSimone's channel, we're going to be going live for Pens Pointers, special playoff edition, breaking down the series between the Columbus Blue Jackets, Pittsburgh Penguins. So if you're a hockey fan, guys, if you're a fan of hockey, tune into that. It'll be on Anthony's channel, so be sure to check that out. I will post a link on my Twitter. So that is it, guys, for this live Raw review. Thank you all for tuning in. And be sure to tune into my next video. Should have my SmackDown review up later, hopefully on Wednesday. Working on it sometime Wednesday. And then I would like to do Backlash card predictions video later in the week. So that looks to be the lineup for this channel. So thank you guys for tuning in. And I'll see you guys in my next videos. Until then, guys, take care and let's go Pens!